Hello and welcome back to Lean Revisions. I'm Ethan Liggett. In this module, I will be going over the measure phase. The steps in this phase involve creating a plan to measure the current performance of your processes and procedures. We do this so we can identify where most of the errors and waste are coming from. We want to ensure that the data being collected is accurate, reliable, and representing the current performance of the process. Next, we will go on and collect data, which leads us to the understanding of our current performance. The first step in our measure phase should begin by getting a true understanding of what is going on from start to finish. We can do this by taking what's called a Gemba walk, which involves taking a look at the whole process, seeing where exactly the work is getting done. Take note of any issues or inefficiencies you see. Ask the subject matter experts and workforce involved in the processes what their main issues are and what could make their jobs better. The measure phase results in a clearly defined and tested plan to collect data that accurately reflects and represents the process. One of the big quotes that I like here is one by Dr. W. Edwards Deming, in which he says, 85%, later to be adjusted to 95%, of the reasons for failure to meet customer expectations are related to deficiencies in systems and processes, rather than the employees. The role of management is to change the process rather than badgering individuals to do better, which happens very frequently. You could have the greatest person that is stuck in a broken process and the process will overtake them every time. Now it is time to collect some data. Create a document we know as a data collection plan template. What we want to do is make sure the employees understand that we're measuring the process, not the person stuck in it. Let them know we're not evaluating their performance and instead facilitating their job. So what is data? Data is what helps us distinguish what we think is happening from what is really happening. It helps us confirm or disprove ideas and theories and eliminate non-objective decision making. Data is reliable information upon which we can make decisions. So basically, if we're not making decisions based on valuable data, we're just giving it our best guess. And decisions made on valuable data and realistic data are the most accurate. There are two types of data that we deal with, and they are known as qualitative data and quantitative data. Qualitative factors have discrete levels. For example, number of errors, good or bad, pass or fail, and so on. Whereas quantitative factors are continuous. This is where we use some type of measurement system along with a measurement device. Examples of this are cycle times, call center handling times, and so on. Here's an example of the data collection plan template. On the left, you see the CTCs. CTC stands for critical to customers, so we understand what the voice of the customer is and then prioritize those requirements into what is critical. Next, we will define those metrics and gather data to quantify the business impacts. We also need to establish if we are going to stratify the data. So ask yourself, does the number of possible measures make it practical to measure the data? This is why we want to go in and prioritize these measures to make sure that we get the ones with the most leverage. Ensure that the benefit of collecting the data will outweigh any negative impacts. Once you have some data, it is time to start. Let the team know what is going on and create a visual depiction for everyone else to be able to see what the issues are looking like. So once the problems have been identified, we want to focus on the ones that are holding us back the most. In this image, we have a Pareto chart showing us that a majority of our defects are from making the buttons when producing a shirt. We then would look at fixing the process of our button defects as our priority. There are two types of variation we see when looking at the data we have collected. A majority of it is known as common cause variation, which is normal errors that occur. They are always present and always expected, and very predictable. This could be a general day-to-day issues. Special cause, as you would assume, is much more rare. It is unpredictable, an anomaly, and not always present, like computers crashing or a power outage. This slide helps you visualize the difference between a common and special cause variation. As you see, common cause is within a reasonable variation and special cause sticks right out. Now let's take a second and go over some review questions. Which type of data is production of tomatoes by weight? This data would be quantitative. Additionally, it has continuous factors because there needs to be a measurement device like a scale. Next, what kind of data is recorded for the defective products on a manufacturing production line? Since these are defective products, we're either saying that they meet our customers' quality standards or they don't, which makes it qualitative and discrete data. Now here's a question for you to identify if the cause of variation is special cause or common cause. So you're driving to work and you happen to get a flat tire. What's the cause of the variation? This would be special cause variation because it doesn't happen very often. It's not in your day-to-day routine. Next, I'm going to be walking you through the analyze phase. It's Ethan here from Lean Revisions, and I'll see you soon.